Your most experienced engineers are likely spending a significant portion of their time on work that could be completed more efficiently by a specialized external team. With over 15 years of U.S. market experience and more than 1,000 projects started annually, AXA Engineers has seen this pattern firsthand. What if your top engineers spent their time on strategic growth rather than routine drafting? This isn't a failure of management. It's a systemic flaw in the traditional project workflow model. While your experts are deep in routine drafting or data preparation, they aren't focused on high-value client engagement or complex problem-solving. Stay with us to learn how you can reclaim hundreds of high-value engineering hours per year. To understand where these hidden inefficiencies originate, we must first examine how project workflows are structured and where the true constraints lie. Many civil engineering firms operate within a familiar project workflow, yet few have taken the time to systematically map it in order to expose hidden constraints that limit throughput. The most significant bottlenecks are not always where firms expect. Rather than complex engineering challenges, the true points of friction often arise from how senior expertise is allocated. When highly skilled personnel spend their time on procedural tasks, the opportunity cost is substantial. A closer look at the pre-design phase reveals this dynamic clearly. Senior engineers frequently spend hours cleaning survey data and preparing sketch plans, tasks that, while critical, are highly procedural and do not require their advanced skills. For example, after a topographic survey, the raw data must be processed, artifacts removed, features interpreted, and information converted into a base map. These steps are essential, but can be performed by a specialized team, freeing senior engineers to focus on higher value work, such as client communication and design innovation. This phase, often underestimated, consistently absorbs more time and resources than anticipated. When senior staff handle data processing themselves, they divert attention from design oversight, project planning, and client engagement. The result is a delay in project initiation, a slower overall timeline, and a diminished return on investment for the firm's most valuable talent. The hidden constraint is not the technical challenge of the data itself, but the misalignment of labor. AXA Engineers addresses this constraint directly by offering a dedicated survey data processing service. This service is built on rigorous quality control protocols, ensuring that processed base maps and initial sketch plans are delivered within 24 to 48 hours of survey completion. By externalizing these procedural tasks, firms transform a linear dependency into a parallel process. While the external team prepares the base file, internal staff can advance on other critical path activities, accelerating the overall project timeline. Consider a hypothetical example. A mid-sized firm routinely experienced delays at the outset of major projects. An internal review revealed that the lead engineer, responsible for strategic planning, was spending nearly half of the first project week managing raw survey data and drafting initial site plans. High-level discussions and client meetings were postponed, and the firm's investment in senior talent was not fully realized. By partnering with AXA Engineers and shifting this data preparation function externally, the firm received clean, layered CAD files within 2 days. This allowed the lead engineer to immediately engage in strategic project activities, compressing the project initiation schedule and setting a faster pace for all subsequent phases. AXA's approach is more than simple delegation. It is a strategic reallocation of intellectual capital. The firm's quality assurance process includes multiple layers of review, standardized deliverables, and close alignment with client requirements. This ensures that the outsourced work meets internal standards and integrates seamlessly with ongoing project workflows. The most immediate impact comes from outsourcing survey data processing, topographic analysis, and the drafting of initial site plans and existing conditions drawings. By assigning these functions to an experienced external partner, firms allow their senior engineers to focus on complex design challenges and client management from the very beginning of the project. This restructuring of the project initiation phase not only increases velocity, but also enhances profitability and client satisfaction. But what happens once the project moves past the initial data phase? That's where the next bottleneck awaits. Strategic intervention at the design development and construction documentation phases is where scalability and quality are most effectively optimized. During these production-heavy stages, firms face the challenge of converting approved concepts into precise, comprehensive construction documents under tight deadlines. The greatest operational stress often arises from managing surge capacity, when multiple deadlines or a single large-scale project threatens to overwhelm internal resources. Hiring additional full-time staff to accommodate these surges is rarely efficient, and temporary contract staff introduce their own set of risks related to quality and integration. With a team of over 80 dedicated professionals and Vietnam's largest civil 3D license portfolio, AXA Engineers seamlessly augments your internal team for surge capacity. Outsourcing at this stage is not about replacement, it is about strategic augmentation. Grading, utilities, and stormwater plans, all procedural but critical, can be handled externally, freeing your team to focus on oversight and engineering judgment. By externalizing the production of these core components, firms can maintain project velocity without sacrificing quality or overextending their staff. In addition to traditional plan sets, the demand for high-quality 3D renderings and visualizations has become a standard requirement for client presentations and regulatory approvals. These assets provide stakeholders with a clear, realistic representation of project scope and design intent, improving communication and reducing the likelihood of misunderstandings. Instead of investing in expensive rendering setups that sit idle, partner with a team already equipped to produce photorealistic 3D visuals. This approach ensures that specialized skills and technology are applied only when needed, optimizing both workflow and budget. Quality control remains a primary concern when externalizing such critical deliverables. AXA Engineers addresses this through a structured partnership model that begins with a pilot project. We begin with a pilot project, aligning on layering, annotation, and review cycles before scaling up to full execution. This initial phase allows both teams to establish clear communication protocols, define project requirements, and refine workflows. The pilot serves as a proving ground, ensuring that the external team fully understands and implements the client's technical standards before transitioning to full-scale production. Ongoing quality assurance is reinforced by dedicated project managers who act as single points of contact throughout the engagement. These managers oversee regular progress meetings, facilitate feedback, and proactively resolve any issues that arise. The workflow incorporates multiple review cycles, with each deliverable undergoing thorough internal checks for accuracy and consistency prior to client submission. All work is executed to the client's preferred formats and standards, ensuring seamless integration with internal project environments and eliminating the need for rework. This structured approach transforms outsourcing into a managed extension of your firm's capabilities, not just a transactional handoff. The result is a system that reliably supports both scalability and quality, even during periods of peak demand. By offloading time-intensive, rules-based production tasks, such as construction documentation and 3D visualization, your core engineering staff are freed to concentrate on engineering oversight, quality assurance, and client management. Strategic outsourcing, when implemented with rigorous controls and a partnership mindset, enables firms to maintain high standards while expanding their operational capacity. The process is not simply about shifting tasks externally. It is about realigning internal resources to focus on the highest value activities. This approach creates a more resilient and scalable project delivery model, positioning your firm for sustained growth and improved client outcomes. A closer examination reveals that this method of intervention is not merely an operational adjustment. It represents a fundamental shift in how civil engineering firms manage their resources and structure their project workflows. Instead, the conclusion is clear. By outsourcing key tasks, your firm can gain up to 40% more time for high-level design, client strategy, and innovation. This shift transforms a resource-dependent operation into a scalable, resilient ecosystem that adapts to changing market demands and supports more complex projects. We recommend conducting a bottleneck analysis to pinpoint the single greatest constraint on your project throughput. Consider how a strategic partnership can resolve it. Visit AXAEngineers.com/services or reach out for a free pilot to identify your firm's biggest bottleneck. If you found this useful, like and subscribe for more insights on optimizing your engineering workflow.